Welcome back to Tug Chat. And before we get started, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including those of us on the panel. And let's see, greetings to the people in the chat we've got. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not frozen, by the way. I was just pretending. I wanted to see if anybody caught on.
Smart mouth.
Okay, so Danny Staten is here in the chat. Hello, Danny.
Hi.
Always good to see you. We've got Henry Squatch, Just Carowin. Let's see, and Michael DeCosimo. Awesome, and I'll try to say hi to people as they pop in. But let's see. Today, I thought about doing something special for Father's Day, but I still just want to keep talking about movie songs. I really like this topic. My list is so long.
Yeah, I've got a long list up here.
Yeah. But eventually this topic will run its course, is the words I'm looking for. And we'll move on to something else. But for today, we're going to continue talking about movie songs. I have no train of thought, so I guess we'll just get started. Unless anybody has anything they would like to say. Okay. Well, Tracy, you're right next to me, so you can go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking about a movie, and I know you guys are gonna, blah me or whatever. But the thing is that that song "Memories" and the song "Evergreen." Those are written for they're done by Barbara Streisand, and they were done for The Way We Were. Movie, right. The Way We Were. Those songs were written for that movie, and every time I hear them, I hate to say this, but I cry because it just touches me so much, So I'll start it out with that one first.
No, I mean those are classic for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I think of Barbara Streisand, I think of Memories. It's pretty much the first thing I think of. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Good choice. I don't know.
Didn't Paul Williams write those songs?
I think so. He wrote a lot for a lot of people.
Love Paul Williams, and he was in Planet of the Apes. So how did you go wrong?
Yeah, the guy was multi-talented. Still, if he's still alive, he still is. I think a lot of the greats, are the writers behind the scenes.
I never actually saw The Way We Were. Is it like Is it a good movie?
Yeah, it's a cry movie, Mm-hmm. And, it's one of those, and it's like kind of like it's not a rom-com, but it's a romance kind of movie, and they show their lives being shifted back and forth and all that. I don't want to give it away, even though it's like a 40 or 50-year-old movie by now, but I just don't want to give up.
It's okay. I get lots and lots of comments about spoiling movies that are 50, 60 years old.
I'm not going to spoil this one for you. If you're interested, go see it. You can find it anywhere. I think even your library has a DVD of it.
Yeah,
it's like people who spoil Jaws.
For free.
Start it.
Greetings, Slasher Fred. Good to see you.
Hi, Slasher Fred.
Danny Staten says his favorite Father's Day movie is Creepshow. That's
Danny, you had me laughing so hard last night. I felt so weird laughing.
What's that movie with Terry O'Quinn? The Stepfather. There you go. That's a good Father's Day movie. Sarah is also here.
Sarah.
What's up, Sarah?
My lady, how are you,
Sarah,
girlfriend?
Smile.
Indeed.
And our fact checker is here.
Indeed.
It's not right without you, Indy. Glad you made it.
You mean AM?
Yeah. Memories was the song for Carowin's 8th grade graduation.
Oh my gosh.
8th grade graduation. I couldn't tell you what the song was for my 8th grade graduation.
I think mine was done by, mine was done by the guy who was married. Oh God, he's so popular. The guy who sang Fire Ring, James Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was the song called Friends.
Right, yep.
Yeah. So that was him. Yeah.
What was that song? I think it's called Moving On. I have no time now to stop and explain. That was ours.
Oh.
I remember my high school theme. My senior year was a Billy Joel song that's based on Beethoven. This night, the
Mhm.
it will last forever. That one.
Ours was "We Are the
I don't remember
World."
what mine was at all. It was something
I like-
sappy.
Yeah,
Go to prom. So
Maudlin.
Ours was "Be Cruel to Your School."
Oh no!
I kid. It was practical joke.
when I drove away from graduation, I was blaring "We Don't Need No Education."
I think all Pink
Separation
Floyd
vibe.
fans were doing that, probably.
Yeah.
Or was it Alice Cooper song about school?
School's
Oh, be
out
cool to your
for
school.
Goes out
summer.
forever.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Crazy.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, let's move on. But in the chat, feel free to keep telling us your favorite Father's Day movies because that's like a fun side topic.
Mhm.
But we'll keep talking about songs. So, Damien, it is now your turn.
I don't know. So I'm coming into this late, I guess, but I guess you guys did one.
It's fine if you
okay,
repeat
all
yourself.
right.
Don't worry about it.
So I'm gonna go with "Chariots of Fire" by
Ah,
Vangelis.
that's cool. Yeah.
That was written
That was
specifically
cool.
for that movie, and it originally was just called "Title" on the I guess on the soundtrack because it was the title song, but that they played during the title sequence, but they got changed to "Chariots of Fire" when that song started moving up through the charts, basically, after the debut of the movie. So, but yeah, that's good song. It's an iconic movie sound or movie song, or I should say instrumental. That
yeah, it's one of
everybody
the most
knows.
famous, I think, instrumental
Yeah,
songs.
yeah,
It's one of those where you know the song more than you know the
Mhm.
movie. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
I think it's a gorgeous piece of music. It is.
It is. It is.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It's
Yeah, like
Vangelis, isn't it?
yeah, Vangelis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way I
I
feel
think I said
about.
Vangelis, whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's pronounced Vangelis. Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of
I'm not
similar
entirely sure, but I
like
think so.
that.
I don't know. I
Like,
don't know Italian, man.
Yeah, they are good.
He did one album that was basically just a tribute to the Mars Curiosity rover,
Hmm.
and I actually use that album when I'm writing because it's just like perfect for sci-fi. It's just I don't know. There's something about it.
Mhm.
I love Vangelis. He did Blade Runner as well,
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's
obviously,
right.
and
Thanks for cutting that.
got a couple other things too. But those are the first things that pop in my mind. So, hello, Mike Silva.
Mikey, what goes
Yeah.
on?
Hi, Mr. Silva.
He is watching Netflix with his dad, as you should on Father's
Oh, nice.
Day.
Happy Dad's Day, guys.
Yeah. Somebody's microphone is crackling really bad. I'm not sure whose it is.
Yeah, oh, Tracy, I think it might be yours because
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
yours,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Yeah, it's probably rubbing against my shirt or my dress.
naughty microphone.
Yeah, I gotta find my safety pin so I can at least safety pin it up here so it's
Mhm.
not moving so much.
And Indy, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Chariots of Fire win an Academy Award, both the movie and the song? Just let me
I
know.
believe so.
Pretty sure.
Double whammy.
And I've seen the movie, but I don't remember it at all. Like I remember the song, but I don't really remember the movie.
A lot of running. A lot of
Yeah,
running.
yeah. On the beach.
It should have been called Silent Running.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wasn't there a movie called Silent Running though?
There's a soundtrack I'm not going to talk about.
I honestly don't remember the soundtrack to Silent Running, and I love that film, but I don't remember any sound whatsoever.
It's Joan Baez.
That's right.
No
in the
way.
Sun, in the sun. The night we drove old Dixie down. You don't like Joan Baez?
Oh yeah, I know that song.
I don't like Joan Baez.
Those old
free
hippie
country.
songs. My mom listened to that crap. Folk music when I was growing up because my parents are
sorry.
kind of hippie tone.
Vangelis is Greek, not
Oh, it's Greek?
yeah, Greek.
Okay,
I
can
thought
see
so, but I
that.
didn't have
I
the
was just
heart to
reading a little
correct
bit of
you.
it. I was seeing if it won any awards. So reached number 12 in the UK, number 5 or number 3 or so. Anyway, 107 weeks on the album chart. Wow.
All right.
That's like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Brazen.
Okay, Indy says it is pronounced Vangelis or
Van-
Vangelis, I guess.
Gel. Gel.
Yeah.
Sure.
Vangelis. Okay.
And Chariots won 7 Oscars, including picture and soundtrack. That's I knew
Dang,
it was a
they
big
cleaned
Oscar
up.
movie, but it's one of those Oscar movies that's not really remembered anymore. Did he pass? Really? I have no idea. You'll have to tell us that, Indy. Did he pass recently?
That sounds right. I haven't been. So many have passed in the last couple of years. It's crazy.
Yeah, in
It's like-
2022,
Yeah.
age 79. Yeah,
Oh.
It's
yeah.
like all
Bummer.
quiet on the Western fronts, you know. It's like
Mm.
it's like
Well, look at these last 2 weeks. We've had a lot of people dropping off the planet. The guy from Sly on Family Stone, and then there was
Yeah.
another one, a really known actress, and she was old, but she died just recently. I think Chance put it up on his thing. Too many.
Feel better, Sarah.
oh,
Yes, there are
migraines
please
are the
feel better.
Yeah, migraines suck.
Okay, let's see. So Thrash, it is your turn.
excellent. And I can't believe I haven't talked about this film yet, but it occurs to me I probably talked about it on some different chat because it's one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna go with Fright Night.
Ooh,
Ah,
Ooh, that's
Fright Night is
interesting.
one of my favorite horror movies. It has just the right blend of it's like drama, comedy, coming of age, horror film, all rolled up into one. I thought Chris Sarandon was phenomenal as the vampire. Just great film. I remember I first saw it on a midnight movie on Halloween when I was in high school. It's the movie before I went off to my college orientation. A buddy of mine and I went and saw it at a drive-in, and we snuck a quart of silver bullets in and drank them through a straw so the cops would think that they were just sodies. We were so
Wow.
clever in our youth. But I absolutely love this film, and it actually has an absolutely amazing soundtrack. Armies of the Night, Every Night I Rock Myself to Sleep,
Mhm.
Save Me Tonight, just really, really great stuff. I bought the album more or less as like a whim. I think I found it in a bargain bin, and I played it, and I'm like,
Wow.
really. I mean, I knew I liked the music in it, but it's like I really, really loved it. I still play it every now and then to this day when I'm feeling nostalgic, which is mostly, and I have more reason to feel nostalgic every day these days. But I have to go with the Fright Night soundtrack.
no, that's a good pick.
That is a good one. Hmm.
And Slasher Fred actually makes a really good point. You can kind of see how it's a precursor to Scream, and that it's like a horror movie with all the horror movie tropes set in the real world, and yeah, I can see
Centered around
that.
teenagers.
A little bit of meta in there.
Yeah.
And I also want to say hi to Snarky. Hi, Snarky.
Snarky. I didn't even see her come in.
Snarky.
She's sneaky like that.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
Yeah, I did a video on Fright Night, and I kept trying to say Fright Night the way Chris Sarandon does in the movie with that really rolled R. I can't do it. I cannot roll my R's.
Almost like Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
And
Fright
of course,
Night.
lest I forget, Roddy McDowell in the supporting role. Doing a lampoon of himself and other horror giants. Absolutely phenomenal.
That's cool.
Then, by the way, opinion is divided. I always thought, Peter Vincent was a play on Peter Cushing and Vincent Price.
Oh.
Right. That's what it's
But
supposed to be.
But no, it could be. But there's another theory. It's Christina Peters, Elvira, and the first horror host of all time was something I wish I knew. It would be so much better if I could actually indeed back me out here. But it was something Vincent. So it's actually also a because he was a horror host. It's a play on the names of these two very famous horror hosts. Could be a coincidence,
I mean,
but it was a
maybe, yeah.
great dig.
And yeah, Chris Sarandon and director Tom Holland. Not
Wow.
Spider-Man Tom Holland, but director Tom Holland
Holland.
did
Oh.
also make Child's Play together. Yeah.
And he's
yeah.
Susan Sarandon's ex-husband.
I also do love David Tennant, and I also don't like the remake of Fright Night. And I like the
like
kid
David
too,
Tennant,
Anton
too.
Yelchin. He was fantastic. But
You know,
you can't beat the original.
yeah, David Tennant was actually a classically trained actor too.
Yeah, Shakespearean. Yeah.
Mhm, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Comes from old school.
I was always
I-
disappointed they didn't make that sequel. It was supposed to be very similar to Lost Boys, where evil Eddie, evil Ernie,
Evil Ed. Yeah.
he somehow he survives and he puts together this like cadre of other disenfranchised teens, and they roam the night and have to be thwarted again by the kid Brewster. Oh, Brewster, you're so cool. Yeah. But it never came to fruition. It's a pity because I thought it would have made a great premise. And with the success of Lost Boys,
Yeah, I'm not sure
probably
why
had
they didn't make it, but yeah, I mean, I've heard that before. And the movie does kind of end on that note where like you hear Ed's voice and you kind of see the eyes in the darkness, and yeah, so it's kind of set up.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I was always amazed that kid didn't go further. I mean, he was in At Close Range, and he did like a couple episodes of
Mhm.
like the Twilight Zone reboot, but he never achieved like star status. And I don't know why. He was great. He was like,
right.
Hmm.
And Slasher Fred's all up in this like good points. Yes, it is basically Rear Window,
Window.
just with a vampire.
Yeah, yeah.
I can
I
see
like
that.
Rear Window.
Yeah.
That was a great
It's also-
movie.
it's like a watered down. Speaking of Hitchcock, though, it's like a watered down version of Body Double,
Wow.
which
Oh,
was like
I love
again
Body
De
Double.
Palma doing Hitchcock. So the pieces are all there.
I see that. Sure,
Mhm.
Wow.
it's all that cultural cross contamination.
Which I just gobble up.
Yeah, some of the best movies are made that way, for sure. Okay.
Sometimes Mrs. Thrash will watch a movie and say, "Here, explain this to me." Point out the nuances and the connection to other films. And
I think I'm gonna name a song that I know you don't like, Thrash.
Uh-oh.
But it's a "Don't You Forget About Me" from The Breakfast Club.
I like
Ah.
that song.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Very good.
I
love
know
that
you
song.
don't like it.
Mhm.
It's a free country. For the moment.
But come on, I grew up in the 80s. I grew up watching The Breakfast Club and all those John Hughes movies. And Don't
Yeah.
You Forget About Me. Just it has so much nostalgia for
Yeah.
me that like I can't not love it.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, I've heard it a billion times, but for some reason it hasn't gotten old to me yet.
Every 80s documentary ever made.
I understand why you don't like it. I
Sorry.
don't share your distaste.
A lot
But you
of
can't
people are-
deny how big it was. It was a huge
Mhm.
song, and that's why it was in every 80s documentary ever.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. I liked it.
And
But
it
no
was
one knows the
definitely-
words. Everyone knows the chorus. Nobody knows the lyrics. And I love that. You know? It's like When I'm 64. I had a buddy who tried to sing When I'm 64 at karaoke, and he crashed and burned because all he knew was When I'm 64. So the rest he was like all over the place.
Oh, no.
Because he thought he knew it.
Titanic.
But yeah, he didn't. So.
That's kind of how I sing I Can't Drive 55.
I
I'm
can't-
just like, blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 I can't drive 55.
Radar love. You know?
Yeah, you start making up words.
Coming on strong. Radar
And of
love.
course, who can forget Louie Louie?
Oh God, that song.
I
is
know the
so-
words to that.
I do
She
too,
fine
actually. I had to
little
look at
girl. She wait for me. Me
Did
Yeah.
you know
sail
that
the ship.
they offered
across the
that
sea.
song to Corey Hart at one point?
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Corey Hart.
Yeah, Corey
Goodness.
Hart. Yeah, Don't You Forget About Me. Yeah, Simple Minds was not. It was offered to them. It was also offered to Corey Hart and like two other people, I think. And
Wow.
it's like Brian Ferry, and who else here? Oh, and Billy Idol too.
Mm.
It was offered to all of them.
You know, I can see that. It'd have been a little more
Yeah.
up tempo, but I can
Mhm.
see Billy Idol doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
I might like it.
Yeah.
yeah. It would have been different, but it'd be
And
cool.
Simple Minds actually rejected it at first. They said it wasn't the right song for them or something like that. So,
Wow.
yeah.
It turned out to be their biggest hit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
It made
He's
them
a, he's a
money.
pretentious git, first of all, by the way. Yeah.
Money, money, money.
Mhm.
Yeah. He and Chrissy Hines deserve each other. Ooh.
Gotta say hi to Brogu.
Brogue.
Oh,
Still
Radar
my
Love.
favorite screen name of anybody. I
Yeah.
love the name Brogu.
me too.
It's like a fraternal spaghetti sauce.
Tracy, Danny's still sour about Patrick Swayze from
I know, that's so funny. When you said that, I nearly spit out my lung. I was laughing so hard. I mean, I was crying. Danny always makes me laugh. He's so dry. I love
great.
it.
Yes, Slasher Fred, well spotted with the Boomtown Rats, which is something they were trying to avoid in that movie, but it was a nice little innuendo there, nice little drop.
Yeah, Slasher Fred's in here with all the great little bits of trivia.
He came to play today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This. And yeah, Indy makes a good point. If you don't like every musical artist that's a pretentious git, you're not going to listen to the radio.
Valid. Point conceded.
One
And
down.
conceited. Yes.
But he abuses the privilege.
Aw,
Mm,
we love you, Indy.
we do.
Well, we're always talking about how much we like people like Robert Heinlein and Harlan Ellison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
Conceited
they're
is putting it mildly.
I mean,
I have to dig out that hate letter I got from Harlan Ellison. Someday I have to.
I mean, I consider
We
that
have
a
to
love
see it.
letter. I mean, really. I mean, if I got hit by oh gosh, any boxer I can't even think of one, Muhammad Ali. If he hit me, man, that would be great because then I know that hey, at one time, I got hit by Muhammad Ali. Can't get any better than that.
Go big or go home, I suppose.
Yeah, but to me, that would be like almost a kiss,
I don't think it would feel like a kiss, but
I know, right?
And yes, Danny Elfman is like the mega star of the 80s soundtrack.
Yep.
He's all over
Definitely
it.
Slasher Fred.
And while we're on the subject, Danny Elfman and Chris Sarandon are both Jack Skellington in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Well, we talked about that already.
Wow.
We did? I would have remembered that. We did?
I feel like
Maybe I'm doing senile.
on one of these, we were talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas songs with Sarah, and I probably brought that up. But if I didn't bring it up, I'm bringing it up now. Danny Elfman is the singing voice of Jack Skellington. Chris Sarandon is the speaking voice.
That is a great drop. And I can't believe I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe I knew it and forgot.
That's one of the joys of getting older and being forgetful. You learn everything new again.
Make new
great.
friends every day.
Yeah. Or just cleaning out your book collection and say, oh my God, I read this in high school. I still have it.
Let's see. Okay, so I mentioned the song that Thrash doesn't like. So I guess it's your turn, Tracy.
Okay. I'm not really huge on Star. In fact, I really am not a Star Wars person. But I must say,
Who is
John Williams did a hell of a job of the music for the themes and for the incidental music in between the movie. But come on, that was a classic. I mean, and John Williams, I've seen him do other people. I've seen him do like Beethoven and Bach and Stravinsky, and he did that. I'm like, holy Toledo, the man's all over it.
Yeah, the man is extremely talented. He's done some of the most memorable movie soundtracks of all time. We talked about Superman with Chance, the first episode of this we did. And yeah, he's done like Jurassic Park, Star Wars. I mean, you name it, he's done
Those
it
are
all.
great pieces of music.
I think his E.T. soundtrack is highly underrated. I think that's one of his best.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does have some very good music in it.
Yeah. But no, yeah, and Jaws. We talked about Jaws too. That's just like
That was him
full of
too?
notes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe that's what really put him on the map. He'd been around for years before that and was known. But when he did Jaws, it was like dun-dun, literally.
Oh,
dun-dun.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's when
Wow.
Spielberg said, "You're coming with me. You're not allowed to not make more movies with me."
You come with me.
Wow. That's awesome.
Senor Spielbergo.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Spaghetti.
yeah. Indy doesn't know anything about forgetfulness.
He's like Sheldon. He has an eidetic memory.
I was about to say, like Marilu Henner, she remembers what she ate in 1977 for lunch on this day.
See, that's my wife. Like, she can't remember like little details here and there, but she will. I ask her, like, what did you have for lunch on July 12th, 1999? And she'll tell me. Yeah. She'll always remember all of her food.
Where's my lottery ticket?
I mean, priorities. You gotta have your priorities.
I've always often wondered that wouldn't that be sad though? Because I mean, as Michael Caine once said, we all have things we wish we could forget. Wouldn't it be tough to have those really sad memories be like crystal clear in your mind? It'd be like Wolverine with the claws, where every time they come out,
Definitely.
Yeah.
So sympathies from Thrash for those who do. And
I'm happy to have the memory of a goldfish. And yes, before you say something, I know goldfish actually have a better memory than people think. But still.
Cool.
But yeah, the Imperial March.
That was awesome.
Just like Jaws, it's just a couple of notes.
There's a Christmas Carol version of that on YouTube that I fall in love with. I play it when I'm like wrapping presents every year.
That's awesome. Like a Cora Bells kind of thing. That would work.
Oh, you gotta play that one time, or at least do it on your email page or something, so that we could hear it. Because then that way you don't get struck.
Like a bell.
Yeah, no kidding. Ding.
Okay, so
I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry.
It is your turn again.
Okay. Let me see here. Can I do a twofer?
Sure.
Okay. Top Gun, Take My Breath Away, and Danger Zone, both written by or the music written by Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah, yep.
And then the lyrics by Tom Whitlock on both of those songs.
Wow. Yeah.
Take My Breath Away performed by Berlin, and Danger Zone performed by Kenny Loggins, of course. But yeah, both iconic songs from the mid 80s, and when that music or that movie came out, they both like made it way up there on the charts.
Yeah.
So
Giorgio Moroder did the music for Cat People, the movie with Malcolm McDowell.
Did he? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why did the cat person cross the road?
Uh-oh.
You'd rather not know.
He also did the American soundtrack for The Neverending Story.
Wow.
Okay.
Including writing the song that was performed by
Kajagoogoo.
the guy from Kajagoogoo. Yeah.
Oh, Lamal. Yeah,
Lamal, I think is how you say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't name him in my video on The Neverending Story because I was afraid I was going to mispronounce it, and I get so much grief in the comments for mispronouncing names.
I thought Lamal was a French shopping center. I am on fire today, people. I don't know.
You're doing good.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, Damien, if I remember my Berlin history properly, I believe they too did not want to do that song, and it became probably the song they're best known for. But I believe they were like, not really our culture.
Well, you can't say that about Kenny Loggins. I'm pretty sure he said anything.
Yeah.
It was written for Kenny
Well,
Loggins.
he's on my list like 5 times.
I even liked him on the Caddyshack 2 soundtrack, and that's an otherwise appalling movie. But it's
I'm all right.
That's Caddyshack 1.
Favorite is
Oh,
a
that's
Beaver.
one. Right.
Nobody's Fool is
Nobody's
Caddyshack 2,
Fool
and I
is
was actually
Caddyshack.
playing it last night because I love that song, and I was drunk.
I've always loved I'm All Right. I think that's a great song.
I like that
That's a
song.
phenomenal
I like,
song.
I like seeing the beaver dancing at the end.
I mentioned it's a gopher, and I mentioned
Yeah.
that my grandfather actually had like an animatronic version of that gopher, and it would sing "Oh, I'm all right"
Oh,
and
gopher.
dance. It was great.
Yeah, Gopher. I loved him. He was the best part of the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What does that sign say? No shoes, no shirt, no service. What does that say? No fighting. My favorite scene of the movie, and that was Brian Doyle Murray, Brian Doyle Murray, Bill's
Right.
kid brother.
Correct. Who? Yeah, he pops up all the time randomly in movies.
Mhm.
Anyway, your turn, Thresh.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that last bit I did should have counted, but okay, I'll pick one.
Oh, but one more thing about Danger Zone.
Mhm.
Every time I watch the New York Rangers, inevitably one of the commentators will say, "And he's going deep into the Ranger zone," and I'll immediately get Danger Zone stuck. Every time.
Highway to the danger zone or the Ranger
Oh.
zone.
I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to have to read this. Now I have to read this joke into the record. Why did Kenny Loggins take the Autobahn to Schultz Einstein?
I'm just going to wait for an
No
answer.
idea.
I'm going to have to explain it, but he wanted to take the highway to the danger zone. The strip between Denmark and Germany is called Danger, and the cities
Oh.
are
Yeah.
the ones I just butchered. So take my word for it.
That's cool.
If you had Google Maps in front of you when I told that joke, it would have been funnier.
It would have slayed for sure.
And here's another one I can't believe I haven't brought up yet: Streets of Fire.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Streets of
That's a
Fire
good
has an
song.
absolutely amazing soundtrack. The Sorrells are probably my favorite fictionalized movie band of all time. And of course, as we all know, I had a huge crush on Diane Lane.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
And-
beautiful.
Her as a rock and roll sex kitten was just amazing, and the other music is great too. Even the songs that aren't by those guys are still pretty darn good.
Mhm.
There's like a rockabilly band in the biker bar scene, and they're actually outstanding. I was actually wishing they were in more of the movie. And the go-go dancer, and I can't think of the young lady's name, and I'm very embarrassed, but she was actually the stand-in dancer in Flashdance.
Wow.
Oh.
That's cool to know.
Trivia
Oh.
there for you.
I think I
But yeah,
seen
I absolutely love Streets of Fire. It's sort of a dystopian Hopper painting come to life.
her.
William Dafoe as a bizarrely effeminate, predatorial bike gang leader steals the movie. The supporting cast is phenomenal. Well, there you go. So great movie, great soundtrack.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, just looking at the various songs that are on it. There's some good stuff on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Anyway, sorry, distracted.
No,
Ugh.
it's a distracting movie.
It's a good movie. I haven't seen it in years. I should probably watch it again. But
Yeah.
I remember really liking it.
hmm
And yeah, I remember
Mhm.
Willem Dafoe. He was, yeah,
Definitely.
He was Willem Dafoe.
yeah, he's Willem Dafoe. I mean, he's always memorable in everything he does.
Yeah, he's good.
I love the tagline, a rock and roll fable.
Cute.
Okay, so let's see.
Marine Johan.
I will stick with the 80s and I will say Eye of the Tiger.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's on my list too.
That one sticks. Survivor. Yeah.
Classic, yes. And
Yeah.
the
Rocky
whole
3.
Rocky
Yep.
3.
I
yep.
love Rocky movies.
Eye of the
Nice.
Tiger.
Yeah.
That's all. I just have to say I love Eye of the
I think
Tiger.
Oh,
Great
okay.
song.
every kid in the 80s grew up like singing that song at some
Yep.
point. It was
Right,
like,
right.
it was like
Even
in
little
every
girls.
sports thing at some point. If your sister or brother, or if your sister was like in dance or something, they'd play that. You know, if there was,
Yeah. Like if you want to get A on your homework, you get
yeah,
like inspired to write more or do something like that.
Yeah,
And that song put Survivor on the map. I mean, they were
Mhm.
around before that,
Mhm.
but that was a big breakthrough hit. And as you know, guys know, I'm a big Weird Al fan. One of my favorite Weird Al renditions is "The Rye or the Kaiser." About the
Oh,
kosher deli, done to the tune of
I
"Eye of the
have to
Tiger."
hear that now.
It's literally one of my favorite. I think I sang that song more than "Eye
Oh
of the
my God.
Tiger."
I used to sing like a surgeon more than like
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's funny.
like a surgeon.
He's so funny.
Lola, for sure.
Oh my God.
Actually, getting Weird Al to at least read one of the songs that I would have written for him is on my bucket list.
Wow.
There's "We Built This Sunday on Rocky Road" is probably my personal favorite.
Nice, nice.
but also the cover, instead of "Magnet, I'm a magnet, you're a steel, I'm a maggot and you're an eel." Is
Oh, God.
that one gets downright creepy, but you know, intentional
great.
parasitism. But
Welcome.
It's a good one.
Anubis.
oh, Anubis, my brother, good
Marine
to see you.
Jahan. Okay.
Yes, Marine Jahan.
And one of the things I really like about Eye of the Tiger is that very beginning, that bang, bang,
Mhm.
bang, bang, which was
Yeah.
designed to be like punching. You're getting punched.
Yeah.
Which, it's so simple, but it works so well.
It's good build-up music, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to play that song, I think, as our entry music when I played football for the Northeast Wildcats before I was in high
Wow.
school.
That works.
They'd play Eye of the Tiger as we're running in, from the benches or whatever at the beginning of the game.
What-
But yeah.
What position did you play?
I played for that team right tackle and occasionally right guard, depending.
Wow.
I was a tackle too.
Oh, were you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually preferred
yeah.
guard because there was more action, but tackle was fun because I got to like do this one move where I would pull out of the line, run down the line, and go basically step on the either whoever's coming around, either the linebacker or the corner, whoever is coming in to stop our runner. And I mean, when I say step on, I mean like boom kind of things. I was pretty big. I was like right at the weight limit for our age group, so I was one of the bigger kids on the team at the time. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's so
lots
Fred?
of fun.
Stop reading my mind. I was just thinking of Welcome to the Jungle because when I was growing up, we had an arena football team, the Orlando Predators, and their, the music that they would play when they would come out to the field was always
Oh.
Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, nice.
And also that song is in the Deadpool, the movie, the Dirty Harry movie, and it's Jim Carrey is the one who's singing it because he's the drugged out heroin overdosing rock star. Yeah.
They used to play Van Halen's Jump before the Cubs would come on as the pre-game show. So
Mhm.
I hear, every time I hear Jump, I think of the Cubs.
Mhm.
That works.
They played that during seventh inning stretches at the Sky Dome
Oh,
when
cool.
I used to watch the Blue Jays play,
hmm
just to get everybody up out of their seats.
Yeah, that's cool.
Should have played Stand and Deliver by Adamant.
I think I have another one here.
Oh,
I'm thinking about the song "That Thing You Do" from that movie, "That Thing You
That thing
Do."
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mr. Downtown. That was a great song in the movie. It sticks
Mhm.
with me every time I hear it. But all those songs were made to sound like back in the day that the Beatles were popular. It was so interesting to hear old music in modern times and how they
Mhm.
could still do that. It was good stuff.
Oh yeah, it sounded like a song from the
Mhm.
late 50s, early 60s, or whatever.
Mhm.
definitely.
Oh, Danny Staten's out here talking about how much he loves Roadhouse.
Oh God, Danny, too much.
And high geek culture. How's it going?
Roadhouse is great, but I prefer Next of Kin. If we're doing guilty pleasure, Patrick Swayze movies.
Have you seen the remake to Roadhouse? I actually kind of like it.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've seen like a couple of
Amy.
scenes here and there. It actually doesn't look too bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
I can't believe they remade that movie. It's not even that old.
Hey guys, while we're on the subject of remakes, at some point, would you guys like to do a show on both good and bad remakes?
Yeah,
There are some good ones. I'm not going to give the game away now, but there are some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mostly
always a
bad,
fan of pointing out all the good ones because
Yeah.
everybody can think of bad ones. Everybody can think of bad
Mhm.
ones, but there are
Yeah.
good ones that definitely deserve attention. Even ones that people don't even realize are remakes, like
Mhm.
Scarface or Maltese Falcon.
Well, Crazies. Nobody knew that Crazies was a
The
remake. I'm
Crazies.
like,
Yeah.
are there no George Romero fans out there? It's like,
Caesar Romero.
Caesar Romero. Yeah, Batman. Oh, that was
Karate
the
Kid
Beatles.
2 had that song by Peter Cetera.
Oh,
I
yeah,
loved
yeah.
that song when I was a kid. I can't even remember what the song is now, but
Either.
it's on the
I
Karate
am a
Kid 2 soundtrack.
man that will
That's the one.
fight for your
Yeah,
honor.
yeah,
Mhm.
And the funny
Love
thing is,
that.
they produced that song as if it was going to be like the running thread of the whole movie. They play it for like 15 seconds while he and the girl are running along the beach,
Yeah,
and that's it. It's like barely in the movie.
Glory of Love. Thank you, Slasher Fred.
Mm.
She was cute though.
Yeah,
And she was a nice looking girl.
I really loved that movie when I was a kid. That was
It was a
my
good
go-to
movie,
movie.
And I do love Peter Cetera.
Yeah.
I know Tracy does because Chicago, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I was
what
going to
can
say I'm more of a Bob Lamb Chicago, but Peter Cetera
Yeah.
did pick
Peter
up the
Cetera
slack.
came up after he died, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, because the original singer passed on, right, kind of at the height that they were at. You know, talk about going out.
Invasion of the
No,
Body
I
Snatchers. Have
never
you heard of
heard of
this
that movie.
Yeah, I
No,
know
I
what
don't.
he's talking about.
Oh, that's
You know,
funny.
we should actually make a pledge to not bring that one up. You know, I'd say that we were being a sadistic bestial necrophiliac, but that would be beating a dead horse.
Oh, Thrash, you're too much.
Aren't I the living end?
Okay, Damien, what you
Oh,
got?
is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stay in the 80s here, and circle right back around to Kenny Loggins again.
All right.
So, we kind of already briefly discussed "I'm All Right" for Caddyshack, so I'm just gonna kind of skip on over to "Footloose," if that one hasn't been brought up yet. But yeah, I always loved that song, and you know, it's the quintessential Kevin Bacon movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, for me at least, I think Kevin Bacon. I think the movie Footloose. You know, and then maybe, you know, what's the other one?
Friday the
The first
think
one that
An-
pops into my mind is
I-
Tremors, but you know,
Mine
Tremors,
is
yeah,
Animal
I'm sorry.
House.
Or Tremors.
Animal
um,
House, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Friday the
yeah.
13th.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that's the one that like really starred him. Like, you know, he was the main character.
That was
you
like
know,
his
yeah.
breakout performance.
Yeah.
Definitely was Footloose. Yeah. That's what
So,
made him
yeah.
who he is.
A megastar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
But anyway, always liked that song. It's a good song.
You know, I honest to God, I'm actually thinking I can't think of a Kenny Loggins song I don't like. I do
They're
like some
catchy.
more than others, but
They're
all, as you
catchy.
say, they're all
Mhm.
catchy and you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
He's like Huey Lewis in that, like, he made all these
Mm-hmm.
very, very poppy, very, very
Mhm.
saccharine, sweet songs in the '80s. But they're great. They're
Yeah.
rocking. They're very, very talented guys who are making, you know, vanilla. But
Yeah.
it's really,
Yeah.
really good.
But they
You
were
know,
really good. Yeah.
Everybody used to make
It's
fun of
throwing
Kenny
the
Loggins
vanilla.
in the '90s for you know, because it was all like, you know, very poppy, very
Mhm.
produced,
Yeah.
you know, money grab type music, and it's like, yeah, well, he's doing what he's good at.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
They're good songs. I mean,
No, you'll get no argument from me.
mhm.
Nor I.
Me either.
Okay, Thrash, what do you got?
Oh, I'm up again. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Your
Mhm.
turn, dude.
We're
This
going.
one should count as a twofer
Ah,
because it
okay.
actually had inspired two soundtracks, and I'm going to go with one of my favorite '80s feel-good movies because we're going to be talking about that later on tonight. The Big Chill. I
Ah.
absolutely love that movie, and it's odd because it came out when I was in high school. So the idea of post-grads
Mhm.
talking about how their lives have changed since college had absolutely no relevance to me whatsoever. My mother was something of a radical in the '60s, so I did understand the whole protest movement, anti-war thing. We actually were in Greenwich Village for a while for just that reason. So I understood their political sentiments, but again, it was very detached. It was like almost
Mhm.
clinical to me, but I still absolutely love that movie. I thought the character development was outstanding. I thought the chemistry between all of them were amazing. I think that was the movie where I fell in love with Jeff Goldblum. And the music was absolutely outstanding. There was not a single song on
Mhm.
either soundtrack that I didn't love. I played actually the first soundtrack. I had to get a second copy because I played it until it went in my cassette player. I had to get a second one.
Wow.
My only limitation was that it did not have the Rolling Stones song on it. At the time, it was really, really tough getting the rights to Rolling Stones songs for soundtracks. I think Mick was against the commercialization, and I loved "You Can't Always Get What You Want," and it wasn't
Yeah.
on either
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, that would be
Um,
good.
Uh, But that being said, one little sin of omission does not minimize the fact that, again, it's an I'm actually singing it in my head while I'm talking to you folks. I'm
Yeah.
distracted.
Yeah.
I'm doing Whiter Shade of Pale. So yeah,
Or
absolutely
Devo's version.
amazing.
There's
And
so
it's
much
weird.
on that soundtrack, though. There's, you've
Yeah.
got Marvin Gaye, you've got Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, you got all the
Temptations,
greatest.
Three Dog Night. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they were good.
But it doesn't detract from the drama.
No,
It's
it's
not-
like it's like perfectly in tuned with the movie. Yeah.
Definitely.
Little trivia for you. Do you know who plays Alex?
Kevin
the
Costner.
court- oh, God damn it.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I should have
I had to
known
rush
you
to
would
beat
know.
Indy. Supposedly, there were actually a couple of scenes shot. There
Were a few scenes shot that didn't make it into the movie because they felt like it messed with the pacing or something. I don't know.
Indy.
There you go. But he did go on. He had a very good supporting role in Silverado.
Which he got
Ooh.
in part because his role was cut out of this movie, The Big Chill. Yeah. Because it's the same director, Lawrence Kasdan.
Kasdan,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of the cast members transferred over.
Jeff
Goldblum,
Kevin
Kevin
Goldblum.
Kline,
Yeah.
That movie just I watched that movie for the cast alone.
Yeah.
It's a great Western epic at a time when Westerns weren't really bankable. So I absolutely adore the movie, but it just the cast alone is worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
And we talked about it when we talked about Westerns, but I just feel the need to point out again that it's one of Kevin Costner's most interesting roles where he's really playing against type. He's not what you expect from Kevin Costner. I
Wow.
really like.
He's a fop,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay, so I guess that means it's my turn again.
It is your turn again.
Well, let's go back to Easy Rider and Born to Be Wild.
Wow. I didn't know that was specifically for that
It
movie.
wasn't specifically written for the movie, but it was made
Oh.
famous because of the movie.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
All the songs are great on that soundtrack.
It's
too.
a great soundtrack. It's
Yeah.
one of the best. Like,
Mhm.
was it 60s, early 70s? It's fantastic.
Every song was a hit.
What year was that? Hold on, I got to
Seven-
look.
Yeah,
70.
Easy Rider was a
72, 73?
Mhm, something like that.
69.
Ooh,
Wow.
I should have taken the over.
It's one of the
Hey, let me
first
go ahead
movies
and,
that really
Yeah, go for it.
brought the whole motorcycle lifestyle into
Mhm.
the mainstream kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, one of them, there was a lot of that in the 50s too. But,
Mhm.
But it also it managed to do hippies and
Yeah.
bikers
Yeah.
together, and you really don't see those two intertwined, but
yeah.
it did so flawlessly.
Mhm.
Part of the whole counterculture element that was the late 60s. It was really amazing. And
And
Again-
Dennis Hopper. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Hopper.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Jack Nicholson.
And Andy says agrees. 1969.
Mhm.
And the prostitutes were played by, of course, Karen
69.
Black,
Yeah, she's
And-
great.
Tony Basil.
Yeah. I like those ladies.
Basil.
I respect them.
Yeah, and I guess they were actually high as kites when they did that scene. They actually were.
They all were.
Everybody was. Yeah.
Oh, and I have. It's amazing how many of the topics today have had jokes that I have that are related. But why did the mad cardiologist use hallucinogenic liqueur while trying to reanimate the star of Easy Rider? Because absinthe makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh. Oh God, I should have got
It was
that.
clicking in my brain just as you said it.
Pieces were all there. You know how hard I had to work for that joke?
Oh God.
Staggering. I took a punchline and worked backwards.
That was great.
I built a joke around it.
Anyway, I'm a huge Steppenwolf fan, and there's a
Yeah.
couple of Steppenwolf
Yeah,
songs
they're
on that
great.
soundtrack, along with like Jimi Hendrix and
Yeah.
there's
I
other
like
stuff on
The
that
Wait.
soundtrack.
That's a
Great.
good song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And of course, Magic Carpet Ride, one of my
Of
favorite rock
course.
songs of all time.
Definitely.
Now I've got the song stuck in my head. So
You're welcome.
it's just playing. Have any idea how many times I drove down the highway listening to Born to Be Wild. With the windows
Actually,
down.
Danny, if you go into the description, you will see that there is a link under Damien's name. You should click on it.
Wow.
That's all I'll say. Okay, so I guess it means it's your turn, Tracy.
Okay. I don't know who did it because I forgot, but I just love the theme from The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. That whistling part. Oh my God. That's
Mhm.
right. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought that was a beautiful piece of music.
It's iconic too. It's like,
Mhm.
you know, if you whistle that, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or if you just say the words spaghetti western, it immediately
Yeah,
pops in your head.
Yeah, it was a great
The
movie.
music in that movie is actually a character.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Oh
not
yeah.
just
Mhm.
background music. It's actually
Yeah.
a character.
It's part of the movie. Yeah. It's playing a part.
Like when Tuco messes up, and in the back you
Mhm.
hear dun dun dun, like nah
Mhm.
nah. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just so perfect. It just works
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah. When they when they mixed that in editing, that must have been. I would have liked to have been in that room.
Me
They're
too.
like,
I
wait,
wanted
wait,
to
wait,
see
wait.
what's
What if we
on the
do this
floor.
right here?
But it must have taken forever. It
Mhm.
must. It would have been staggering.
Yep. Oh, that would have been. I would have loved to have been in that room.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I think another one I would think of is The Godfather.
Oh, of
Mm.
course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I gotta look up who did that one. Who did this?
I don't know. And I feel like
I
I should.
forgot.
Mm.
Okay, I don't feel so bad. It's Nino Rota, who I don't even know
Yeah,
who
I
that
didn't know
is.
that.
Wow.
Alessandro.
Hey, you learn something new every day.
And it's funny because
You're welcome,
Morricone actually did like other like Italian like matinee light comedy action films as well, by the way. So if you're a fan of like old Italian movies, he pops up like everywhere. He's in like Danger Diabolic, and he's just in a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it's
He's
good
great.
stuff.
But I love the Godfather soundtrack so much.
Mhm.
It's so
Me
good.
too. It's iconic as well. When you hear that,
Um,
you can't think of like anything but a horse next to your at least a head in the bed. You know?
Right.
And that was a number 2.
John Orchard brings up the Blue Danube from 2001.
Oh
and
yeah.
the thing about 2001, a lot of the music, a lot of the soundtrack was the temp score. Like, you know, when they're making a movie, you put in a temp score. This is like what it's supposed to sound like. And they actually tried to have a couple of different soundtracks made, but you know, Kubrick didn't like any of them because Kubrick. So they just stuck with the temp soundtrack because it was better than everything else they had. So that's
Wow.
how, you know, the Blue Danube and all the other songs made it into 2001. There you go.
Yeah, that's cool.
I only just found this out like a week or so ago in the scene in Clockwork Orange where Alec is in the music shop. When he's talking to the two girls, the 2001 soundtrack is on the wall and behind
I saw
him.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
My favorite movie, one of them.
Clockwork Orange?
Yeah. I loved it because I was kind of punky when I was going to school. So
It's
you
a
know,
great movie. It's just so
but
sad, you know.
He got to us
a great movie.
punks. What can I say?
You just like Malcolm McDowell. I know.
Well, he's handsome as hell.
He's not my type.
He's my type. Even as
Or
an
Mary
old
Steenburgen
guy,
either.
he's good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna mute.
Garage.
That wasn't me.
Oh, he muted himself. Oh, someone's asking him something off camera. I see.
Okay, no, it was the garage door.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh.
The garage
You get
door
one of
asked
those
the
belt
question.
drives, man. Belt
We
drive.
thought it was an earthquake.
It's
You
a
know,
rubber
if you call my
isolators on the
garage, if you call my garage, I wouldn't. I don't answer to it because it's the bridge.
It's the bridge.
It's the bridge. Well, yeah, because it's like my viewing room, and I wanted a cool name for it. And as you guys know, any war film with the word bridge in it is good. And of course, in sci-fi, you always talk about the bridge. So there was the perfect thing to call my garage is the bridge. In fact, I just cleaned it. I just cleaned it up. It looks really, really good. I should do one of my next remotes from there.
I like seeing that the first time. It looked nice.
Thank you. Thank you. If you look at some of my old content, you can see it quite vividly. Oh, and hey Johnny, how you doing, man?
And yeah, the heavy metal soundtrack, I'm pretty sure we talked about that already. I mean, we've talked
I don't
about
know who brought it up.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I do.
And I told my Blue Oyster Cult story.
Oh, yes.
Ah.
Again. I need to get new material. I really do. But it's
Wow,
funny how
a 9
relevant
to
it is.
5 reference.
I keep on hearing that absinthe make the fond or something like that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Absinthe
Rush.
makes the heart grow fonder.
Fonda. Yeah. I keep on hearing that in my head.
Okay, so Damien, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Blaze of Glory from Young Guns 2.
Oh,
by
nice.
Bon Jovi. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's it's specifically written for that movie and allegedly, at Emilio Estevez's request that they get Bon Jovi to do,
Oh wow.
or
No
John
kidding.
Bon Jovi to do the song. So,
No kidding.
but yeah. Anyway, I've always liked that song. 'Cause,
No, that's a great
when
song.
that all
It's-
came out. Yeah,
Mhm.
It might be my favorite Bon Jovi song.
Mhm.
it's probably my
It's
favorite,
up
other
there
than
for
like
sure.
Living on a Prayer, because we used
Yeah.
to drive in the car singing "Sitting on a Chair." Take my... Anyway,
Lemon
That's
and
good
pear.
stuff.
There's so many different ways you can go with that. I prefer Blaze of Glory because I can actually sing it, whereas Living
Yeah.
on a Prayer, I cannot hit those
Yeah.
high notes at all.
yeah.
It's kind of like I really like Take On Me by Aha, but God,
Oh, yeah, that's a
that's-
high one
That's
too.
impossible. The range
Have
on
a
that is
falsetto
brutal.
voice, or like was that Mercury from Queen? He had one
Oh.
of these like ranges where he could go low or he could go high, or do both at the same time
Yeah,
and make the song sound like a wave. Kind of cool.
Well, I'm a huge Steely Dan fan, and I'm just like, yeah,
Me
nope.
too.
yeah.
Yeah, Leonard Cohen, I can see along with Leonard Cohen, but
Mhm.
Steely
Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
bring me Berlin Wall, bring me
But
Stalin and St. Paul.
that song, so I mean, just paired so well with Young Guns too. I mean,
Really did.
it's- was the just gunslinger song. I mean,
But it was a
great.
modern song, but
Yeah,
it
it was-
felt like it went with the time period. It
Yeah,
was
oh,
really
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
played very well into the whole theme of the movie and everything. So
that's the same
Yeah,
way I
because
feel
that's kind
about.
of what the movie was. It was like
Yeah.
80s rock stars put into the Old West. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
And while we're on the subject, who else feels that William Bonney actually survived? Who else buys into that anecdote?
that who survived? What?
William
That-
Bonney,
Billy
Billy
the
the Kid.
Kid.
Sorry, I didn't hear you say
Okay.
William Bonney.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think he
Well,
lived.
Yeah.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
around the time of World War II, this very old man came forward and said that he actually had been Billy the Kid, and he got this reporter to actually do some research,
Mhm.
and he could actually prove it. The only thing is he couldn't swear to it in court because the governor refused to lift his death sentence.
Oh
So
my!
because if you actually swear to this, you'll be executed. Um,
They
so
are-
either
Wow.
so either
are-
he avoided admitting it publicly to stay alive for the last few months of his life, or he was just some crazy old coot. But either
Mhm.
way, it's a great story.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They are
Yeah.
actually making a Young Guns 3, and that is a significant plot point in the movie, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, have to be, wouldn't it? You know?
Yeah. And I want to say hi to Christopher.
Hey, Christopher.
Christopher Kenneth Wilkinson.
Tell your dad Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, I got an itch.
I also love the theory that Marshall Ney wasn't at Waterloo, and that's why they lost.
Huh.
Okay.
Not particularly relevant to this story, so I'll tell that some other time. But
Tinfoil hat. Yeah.
I could walk 500 miles. And that's the song that taught me the word haver, which
If I
means
hear-
vomit. Okay. So your turn, Thrash.
Me again?
Yes,
Oh.
yet again.
You again.
We're going fast today.
Yeah, we're
I'm
moving
sorry, I
through
wasn't
them
paying
here.
attention.
Pay
I'm
attention.
gonna. Since we're doing oldies but goodies and great musicals, I'm gonna go with what is possibly my favorite musical of all time, possibly, and I'm gonna go with Cabaret.
Ooh, good one.
You guys know what a
Mhm.
huge World War II buff I am. It's
Mhm.
one of the few musicals set in World War II,
Yeah,
or granted pre-war era, but still. Liza Minnelli is phenomenal.
she sure is.
As you guys know, when I was younger, I had a man crush on Michael York, who actually snubbed me at a convention. I won't tell that story again. Oh, Tracy, you never heard that story?
No, but don't. I mean, you know, I don't.
All right, yeah,
Save it.
I'll say it's a good. Well, it's not a good one. It's a sad one. But
Aw.
but anyway, Michael York was amazing. The cabaret scenes were just absolutely outstanding. And Joel Grey as the impresario.
Mhm.
I thought he stole the movie. I really did. The whole
Yeah.
love triangle thing and everything that was fine.
He
But
was
I could
handsome.
watch Joel Grey doing cabaret bits the entire
Mhm.
time. Very happy.
Yeah, he's classically trained too. His range was big. I mean, he was a great actor.
Amazing. And the music is just so incredibly catchy. It just is.
hmm That was a good movie. I saw the play too.
I've always wanted to see the play.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Comes to life, you know.
Well, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's neat.
What do you?
Nay, at Waterloo, he was on Nap's left flank.
It was an imposter. That's why he botched the cavalry charge. Ney would have never. Ney was one of the greatest cavalry officers in history, and certainly one living that day. He would have never, ever launched a cavalry charge into Roman squares without the benefit of an artillery barrage first. Yeah, Ney had fallen out of favor because he had surrendered the Paris garrison without a fight, so he was off the table as far as Napoleon was concerned. But during the battle, they needed him there, so they made up an imposter, and he botched it.
Wow. Dang.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's great.
The history major came out of me. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I hijacked the show.
All right, well, I'll bring it back. I'm going to talk about a song that is not only tied to a movie, it's also tied to the character and the actor and even an entire genre of film, and that is Isaac Hayes' The Theme from Shaft.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
is the theme for Black exploitation.
like-
It is
Not worthy.
Shaft. It is one of the greatest songs of all time. It is cheesy. It is stupid. It is great.
I think it's a monument. I mean, really, it's great. I mean, I don't think it's stupid or silly at all. I think it was just showing the times, you know.
It's
But it was beautiful.
Very 70s,
Reminds me of the Temptations when they sang "Papa Was a Rolling Stone." It has that same connotation.
Yeah,
you know?
I can see that.
Mhm.
But at least before he left, he took out a loan so they'd have some money. Remember, all he left us was a loan, so he
Storefront preaching.
little double entendre there.
Yeah.
I don't really have a whole lot more to say about the theme from Shaft. I just really wanted to bring it up because it's so iconic, like Carolyn said. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
cool.
game changer. Much of the music that came out in black film after that was inspired by it.
Mhm. Oh
And
yeah.
apparently they played it at Richard Roundtree's funeral, which I would have paid to see.
Oh, so sad. He was handsome back in the day. Terrible. We're losing some good ones here, folks.
Yeah, he died
Yeah.
pretty recently, not too long ago.
Mhm.
He survived cancer, though.
Yeah, he did.
He's one of the few male sufferers of breast cancer.
I wouldn't call that a fun fact, but an interesting one. Sure.
That is an
Oh yeah,
interesting fact.
I didn't know that. I knew he survived cancer. I didn't know it was breast cancer.
Wow.
You know, no.
Guys get that too.
Yeah, guys can
It's
get that.
rarer, but yes.
Mhm. Like they say, keep up your health. It's the only thing you have, you know. If you can. I have one that I liked, but it's from like kind of a musical, anyways. I like the soundtrack from Hairspray.
Spray, yes.
Yeah, Hairspray, and I love Welcome. What is that? Good Morning, Baltimore. I forgot who sang that, but that was such a really cool song. And you see Tracy Turnblad running down the street. And I used to tell people I was Tracy Turnblad because my name is Tracy. And she was a cool person too, so I kind of loved her. I looked up to her.
That's cute.
And she was a chunky girl like me.
Did you do the Madison?
No.
I still can't get the steps down. It's too many. I just,
Mhm.
But
I
no,
mean,
great
there's-
soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, like that song had a lot of different things in it, like talking about the neighborhood and the people in the neighborhood, and the stores and the things that she saw around herself as she's singing "Good Morning Baltimore."
Right. Yeah.
And Hair had some good ones too.
Huge.
Fifth
As someone who
Dimension.
spent a lot of time in Baltimore, I've never ever said good morning to Baltimore.
I've been to Baltimore a few times.
Yeah, I used to live not too far from Baltimore. I used to live in Southern Maryland, so Baltimore was just like an hour.
Oh,
drive.
wow, yeah. That's all.
Okay, well, let's just keep moving along. I think it is your
All right.
turn, Damien. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna go with probably my favorite Coolio song, "Gangster's Paradise" from Dangerous
Of
Minds.
course.
Good song.
You know, it's one of my favorite songs of the '90s, or hip hop songs of the '90s.
Coolio.
And, yeah, always liked that song. And strangely enough, I've never actually watched the entire movie Dangerous Minds. Seen part of it, but not the whole thing. So,
It's not terrible,
Yeah.
but it's not that memorable either. It's like it's a tropey movie. It's
Yeah.
you know that kind of movie where like there's a teacher who's in like
Mhm.
basically a ghetto and
Mm-hmm.
you know raising kids up using education, tough
Mhm.
love and stuff. It's standard. You know, you've seen this movie a million
yeah,
times.
there's like
you know.
4 others just like it that came out in
Exactly,
the
yeah.
80s.
Yeah. What was that?
So,
Hector Elizondo was in one of them.
mhm.
One of those
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of movies. I can't think of the movie at the moment, but it was like he taught like a class with people who who were wild.
I can
and
picture it, but I
crazy.
can't tell you the name of it.
Yeah. Stand by me.
Yeah, Stand by
Ah,
Me.
yeah.
Or not-
Yeah.
No, Stand By Me is
No,
the coming
yeah.
of age film.
Oh,
with
yeah,
River
yeah,
Phoenix.
yeah. Something about Lean on Me.
Lean-
Lean on me when
That's
you're
it,
not
that's it.
strong.
Yeah, they use that
Now-
music. But yeah, that's it. Lean on Me. It takes me a little bit. Old mouse is going slow in here
It happens.
Mouse.
on the spindle, real slow.
Sorry, I'm distracted again.
No.
I gotta
Your
stop looking.
ADHD is kicking in today, Todd.
Yeah, I know. I'm really scatterbrained today.
So am I.
Look, the nitroglycerin salesman. I was all over the place. Clumsy
one.
nitroglycerin salesman. That works better. the piece. I'll have to work on it. The pieces are there. I'll polish and.
I'm trying to find this movie.
Look,
Oh, Lean on Me
I'll
was
I'll,
Morgan
I'll
Freeman.
babble incessantly. It's what I'm good at.
Indy.
There we go.
I know Hector Elizondo.
Oh, and
plays
Indy,
one of
you
them,
say
too.
stand and deliver. Is that a reference to the joke I made 45 minutes ago?
Oh, that's
Oh yeah.
I think it's that movie. Stand and Deliver,
Indy.
right, with Hector Elizondo.
Try to stay on top of it.
I know. It's like you think everything at one time, and it's like, gosh,
Mhm.
why did I say that?
Well, people ask me how my mind works, and I go picture an auditorium with like 300 people in it. Someone goes onto the podium and asks a question, and all 300 people shout out a different answer at once. So it's like
Right.
sometimes I want to say one at a time, guys, one at a time, and I knock poor Godzilla again.
Thank you, because I go through that a lot, and I think I was the only person that had that.
No, God, no.
Oh my!
Oh,
Okay.
I'm so tired. Blazing Saddles. I love that bit. I'm
Mhm.
tired. I'm truly tired.
Oh, she was great. Oh, she was beautiful.
I'm not a wabbit.
Yeah, those are great people. Great actress.
Just say she's pumped.
Yeah.
Okay, so thrash, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I really got to start paying attention. I really do. Okay, I'm gonna go with one because it's an amazing movie. It's an incredibly sad, disturbing in some cases movie, but Midnight Cowboy.
Oh
Midnight Cowboy has
yeah,
a
yeah.
phenomenal soundtrack. Specifically, everybody talking at me.
Yeah.
I get,
Was that
you know,
Nilsson?
it was who I always thought was absolutely amazing. And remember we were talking about The Point not too long ago and how
Yeah,
there's
Harry
actually
Nilsson. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, everybody talking at me. I just thought that was such an amazing song. It fits the movie perfectly, even though it's about urban alienation. I just, for some reason, I saw that movie when I was in high school. I probably shouldn't have at the time, and I did love it because to me it was real. It was real. It was actually a little too real in some cases.
Yeah.
But I love the entire soundtrack, and again, particularly everybody talking at me. For some reason, every time I hear that song now, all I can think of is the bus scene in.
Yeah, me
Midnight.
too. Rezzo Rizzo.
I also really like the score. That's John Barry. I know that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about songs, but the score by John Barry is very, very good.
Yes,
But-
that count. That's part of the equation. So yes, yeah, definitely.
and John Barry, he did the James Bond theme, obviously, and
Yeah, I
somewhere
love that piece of music. Oh, I
out of
love that.
Africa. John Barry's done so much good stuff. Oh,
Definitely.
hello, Emily. You made it.
Emily.
Miss
Emily.
M.
How you
Hey.
doing, girl?
My mother wouldn't let me watch that movie when I was a kid. Don't know why. She
My
hated
parents let me
Texas, I
watch
guess.
that movie like when I was like 7.
And you heard the proper version of "I Will Always Love You." Yes. Oh, and Indy also talking about John Barry. Yep.
hmm
We're in tuned, Indy.
Wasn't he an F Troop?
What?
Wasn't John Barry an F Troop?
Hmm.
It was Gene Barry. It was a joke. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Note to self: stop telling jokes on this show, Bob. You've had your quota.
Save them for tonight, man.
You're gonna run out.
I know.
Really. I'll just tell them all over again.
Oh, God.
My grandfather only knew 12 jokes, but he told them for 40 years.
Oh, my.
And Barry, Gene Barry was War of the Worlds. Boy, again, I'm all over the place, aren't I?
Canberry was on Mayberry RFD.
Ken Barry was on Mayberry. Ken Barry, Mayberry,
Yeah.
Crunchberry, Barry Barry. Your turn.
Captain Crunchberry.
Anyway.
Anyway, a plea for sanity.
Okay, well, let's hit the early '90s because I was an angsty teenager in the early '90s, and I really liked the Crow soundtrack.
Ah,
It has
Everybody
Nine Inch
did.
Nails.
Yeah,
it
buddy.
has The Cure. It has Stone
Mhm.
Temple Pilots. This is one of the great all-time alternative rock soundtracks.
Yeah,
grunge
I loved
scene.
it.
The only thing that was missing was probably Pearl Jam, but like,
Yeah, good stuff.
fantastic
I used
soundtrack.
I used to listen to that soundtrack a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
That was a really good one. It's
That's
well,
what's
for one, it
good.
had "Darkness" by from Rage Against the Machine, and that's
Rage
one of my
Against the
favorite.
Machine. Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
One
They
of
were
my
great.
favorite Rage Against the Machine songs because it's like so underplayed. Like it's just one of those songs. So
Emily Miller
Mhm.
just had to insert Gene Roddenberry.
Oh, gosh.
We will accept Roddenberry. We will accept Gene Roddenberry.
One down for you, too.
mhm.
I think my favorite song on the soundtrack for The Crow, though, is probably Big Empty, Son of a Violence.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
one of their
Yeah.
greatest songs.
hmm
That was also on that which album was that?
I don't remember. I couldn't tell you. Son of a
It was their
Violence. There's like
second
4 or
album or
5
something
albums
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for the Crow, but they also I think they had it on one of their albums. But anyway,
Yeah, they do. I'm looking it
Oh,
up.
and yes, John, I was going to guess Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but
Purple.
you beat me to it. But yes, I do recall the soundtrack to that. Although, what was the song? Oh, we beat the Germans in '44, that we licked the Viet Cong almost. But
Wow, who did that?
it was on this Attack of the Killer Tomatoes soundtrack, which
Oh.
actually is a
It was on Purple.
surprisingly
Yeah,
solid soundtrack.
So I take it to an early
Oh, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was late 70s.
Hmm. Oh.
because I like that movie. That was pretty cool.
Milk Toast on the Crow was also one of my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by
That'd be-
Helmet.
yeah, definitely.
That's what introduced me to Helmet,
Tracy, your
honestly.
mic is doing its thing again.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'll hold it. Is
Yeah,
this
that-
better?
Yeah, that's better.
That song on that soundtrack introduced me to Helmet, who I'd heard of but have never listened to, and I went and bought like 2 of their albums when I heard that song. So yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I was into alternative rock, and The Crow is like
Me too.
peak.
The 90s
I like-
alternative sound was outstanding. It really
Yeah.
was. It
Yeah.
was great type of
Mhm.
music.
I mean, I liked the 80s too. Like I like Susan the Banshees. I loved
Yeah.
listening to
yes.
them and The Cure and that Front 242, if you know that
Front
band.
242.
They
hell
were
yeah.
great. Oh my God, Depeche
Spy, Fear,
Mode.
Spy.
You know, everything.
Guess what
listen
Susan the
out
Banshee
there.
song I was listening to last night?
The
I have no idea.
He does.
you know, the one, the Pretender.
Passenger.
Passenger.
Oh, that's a good
Passenger.
song.
Brain.
Yeah,
Work
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
with the horns.
Mhm. Yeah, I like all of them.
and the horns really do make the song. It really does.
Yeah.
I like prog rock and all that too. Beautiful stuff.
prog rock. You know, you get
Mhm.
into like Yes and Rush and stuff.
They
like
were
that. Yeah,
good. It was absolutely
yeah. All good music. I like all of that. Yes. It's funny. I listen to a lot of that in my car, and you know, my son, who's 16 now, he loves most of it. And then Nine Inch Nails will come up, and Nine Inch Nails is the one that I'm like, wow, this is just stupid and angry. I don't get
He
this at
loves
all
it.
anymore. I used to love it, but now I'm just like, this is stupid.
You're like, whatever.
I almost fell out of my chair once my granddaughter came walking into the room and she was wearing a Pink Floyd t-shirt. And I'm like, when did you discover Pink Floyd and why did you not tell me this?
I bet you told her a thing or two.
Yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, one of her friends, I guess, was playing it for her and she liked it. And I'm like, you didn't tell me you like Pink Floyd.
Oh, how cute.
How could you not tell me this? It's like,
Yeah, my oldest had mentioned Pink Floyd the other day, and I was like, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to sit down and listen.
Mhm.
It's just the thing. You get to a certain age, and,
Yeah.
and it just like pops into your brain. You have to be
Yeah.
exposed to Pink Floyd. You know?
Yes,
that's why she didn't tell me. She was afraid I'd make her listen to it with me. Wait,
Did
you're
you?
gonna hear this, you're gonna hear this. No, I have a life.
Oh,
Have you ever heard
see?
metal? Here,
Here's some Metallica. Go help
called-
yourself.
It's like, yeah,
The Wall.
all
This
of
guy
the
here,
albums.
he's
so,
Pink.
yeah.
He's the alter ego. And
I should make her
Oh.
watch The Wall. That's what we should do. We should
Oh,
watch
that's a great movie,
Yeah.
though. She wouldn't get the symbolism, though.
I've
Yeah,
told this
probably
story
not.
before,
I'd
but I'm
explain
going
it.
to tell it again. When I was in college, I had a friend of mine who was, to say, not sober, and we watched The Wall. And he was so freaked out and so traumatized from watching it
Oh, my.
that what I decided to do to calm him down was to literally watch the entire movie again in reverse, like rewind it, so that it could like unwind in his brain.
did that work?
Call me crazy, but it freaking worked.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you did that.
Oh,
It's like we're gonna delete that. We're gonna pull it backwards. We're gonna pull it
He
out.
was totally fine after that. So hey,
That is so funny.
sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta
Kindly
do the
rewind.
As Douglas would say, don't knock it, it worked. You know?
Exactly.
I watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in an altered state, and I would not recommend that for anyone.
Eraserhead. Never watch Eraserhead when you're not in the right
Oh
mind.
God, no! Why would you do that?
Hmm.
You kill
It
yourself.
seemed like a good idea at the time.
Of all movies to watch, wow.
Yeah, right.
In
Now,
Heaven,
Contact is a great movie to watch, but
everything
that's
is
for a
fine.
specific reason.
Start crawling into your radiator. Luckily, we didn't have those in Florida.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We had them all over Chicago.
You ever put the pan of water on top so it didn't make
Yeah.
the air dry? And
Yeah, it's like a poor man's humidifier.
Yeah, you know. Tell the kids not to play too close because they get their arms stuck behind and get all burned, and which
Yeah.
doesn't happen. But you know, they're like,
Yeah.
I mean, it could, I suppose, but you know, you'd have to really work at it. You know.
Yeah. That's right.
Contact. Yes. Very good, Innie. And it was, yes, it was
Mhm.
definitely a contact high.
Everybody's got to
That's
learn
much more.
sometime, Emily. That's good as far as I'm concerned.
Emily, so funny.
Do a David Lynch marathon. That should take
watch
care of
them
any
all.
Oh my
sanity.
gosh. Yeah.
Oh man,
Like Blue Velvet. That was great.
just trying to imagine an entire like marathon of David Lynch movies. What that would do to you. I mean, even sober. That's
Your
That's
brain
rough.
might melt and run out your ears, but at the end of it,
The Blue Eraser Drive. You know? That's the best I can come up with on such short notice. You know?
okay.
Although
Well,
I fell asleep during Lost Highway twice. I could not get through Lost Highway, and I love Patricia Arquette. And I'm like, I don't know why this movie's just not gripping me. I think maybe just something eluded me. So I should try it again.
it's a good movie. I did a whole thesis on it in college on Lost
Wow.
Highway, explaining it, which David
No.
Lynch said you should never try to do, but I did it anyway.
Weren't there like two parallel stories?
Basically, most of the movie's happening in his head as he's going to the electric chair.
hmm.
Somebody explained it to me once, and I go, "That would have probably made a lot more sense." Which,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why in the very end, where like he's the young kid and he's in the car and he's driving away, he just suddenly turns back into Bill Pullman and dies, is because he's being electrocuted in the electric chair.
Oh my.
So he basically he took the Owl Creek premise and made a movie.
Just
out of it.
expanded it. Yeah. It's very
I'll
similar.
buy that.
Owl Creek, Jacob's Ladder, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Carnival
Oh,
of
thank you for ruining
Souls.
Jacob's Ladder. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If I haven't seen Jacob's Ladder, it's not my fault. At this point, you're as responsible as I am. So who hasn't seen The Sixth Sense?
I see stupid people.
They won't remember because they're goldfish.
I know, right?
I have had so much fun today.
Me too.
This is a fun time. Yeah.
Seriously.
But we're running out of time. So let's
Yeah.
just we can all get one more pick, and we
Okay.
have to make
Whose
it
turn is it?
relatively quick. So it's Tracy's turn, and then
Okay.
it'll be you, then
Okay. Let me see. Well, I think one of the best ones I could say is Singing in the Rain, Gene Kelly whole movie. You
Oh,
get
yeah.
that song? And that was a very
We're
popular
talking
song
about
for
that
the
before.
day.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's mine.
Excellent.
Yeah, great song.
It's a classic. And there's
Mhm.
other good songs on it as well.
That's a good
Okay.
movie overall. It's very nice
Damien?
musical.
No, it is good. It's one of my favorite musicals, honestly.
So,
Okay, your turn, Damien.
has anybody brought up Ghostbusters in this episode or previous? I think somebody
You
said in the
now.
comments.
Don't think so.
Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr. for
Ray Parker
Ghostbusters.
Jr.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs from the early 80s, or mid 80s, I guess that was.
Yeah,
But,
85.
Yeah, that was huge at the time. I remember having they were running those videos on well, for me, I was up in Canada, so it was Much Music, not MTV. But they were running those videos back to
The
back.
culture's so weird.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Much Music still plays videos, unlike MTV.
Oh,
Why would you do that?
now you got me thinking. I'm going to go on my internet and look for that now.
Gonna go on the interwebs and look up Much Music.
Yeah, why not?
Justin,
I just-
I'm very sorry if I ruined the movie for you. Sorry.
I like the Ghostbusters song because it's so just unapologetically enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah.
Ghostbusters! You know,
Who you gonna
like,
call?
Who you gonna go?
Great.
Yeah, right.
This is something weird.
And Huey Lewis sued him and got a settlement.
That's true.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
heard that.
Originally, they had gone after Huey Lewis in the News to do the music for it. He didn't want to. He had just done Back to the Future. So they wanted somebody who could do something like Huey Lewis. They got they actually told Parker Lewis to do something like, and if you slow the tempo down, it's very similar to "I Want a New Drug,"
Mhm.
Oh, really?
and
Oh,
and they
yeah.
proved it in court, and Huey Lewis won a settlement.
Wow.
I'm writing that down for one of my shorts. I'm going to do that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I knew that,
About
but
it.
now I can use it in a short.
Use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the second or third time I've given you short ammunition?
I think it's the third time, honestly.
You guys should have a show. You
Very
should.
flattered. Thank you. I really,
Yeah.
really appreciate that. Is it my turn now?
It is
Yeah,
your
sure.
turn, yes.
Okay. Well, I got a quick one because we've discussed this on several occasions. I'm going to go with the Flash Gordon soundtrack done by Queen.
Queen, yes.
That's great.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't
One of
forget
the
that.
best soundtracks of all time. Queen did a thoroughly wonderful job. And of course, Thrash.
Look at your shirt, man.
King of the universe or whatever it was.
Save every one of us.
It's such a catchy song, and I absolutely love it. I think I love it more than the movie.
I like that piece of music. It's great. It makes me happy.
It does deserve to be mentioned
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Very good.
Okay, so my final choice is another 90s one. I'm going to say Kiss from a Rose by Seal for Batman.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I love that song.
That is my favorite Seal song.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Definitely.
Even though the lyrics are weird, man, but it's a great song. Like,
Yeah.
my eyes become wide and the light that you shine can't be seen. What?
Because
People on hallucinogenics shouldn't write lyrics.
It's still
It's
a
like,
fantastic song.
have you ever listened to Fish lyrics before?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Talking about
For
some weird
sure,
lyrics.
they think they're like what is that? No, Grateful Dead or something. They think they're like the new Grateful Dead
That's
or
what they think.
whatever it
Yes.
is. And I'm like, oh please.
It's not so much that they think; it's their fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Think.
they're fans. And
Yeah.
their fans are
I'm
a little
like-
more. They're a little more violent than.
But
I'm
I
like-
mean, if you listen to Fish
Yeah.
versus the Grateful Dead, it's completely different music.
Different, yeah, but they got a following
I mean,
like
the
them.
lyrics for Fish songs are like nonsensical, whereas Grateful Dead lyrics actually make sense and
Make
have a point
sense.
to them. They're telling a story.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just way, way, way different. But it's just what happened was all the hippies and roadies, when the Grateful Dead, you know, quit touring, basically when Jerry died, they all just went over to Fish because they were the second biggest, you know,
Mhm.
head or hippie band or whatever you want to say
Right,
at the
right.
time. But I mean,
see.
you know, you gotta admit, you know, they can play their instruments like nobody's business.
Well, thank
know,
you for
but-
the information. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. But,
Yeah, for ridiculous lyrics, I always turn to Soul Coughing. You know, that's my favorite nonsense lyrics band.
there's a number of bands out there that have some really weird lyrics. Yeah,
Anyway, that's it for today. I think I might finally change the subject next week. I don't know to what yet. I do plan on covering the Next Generation movies for the Star Trek Next
Oh.
Generation movies.
Ooh,
Damien, if you'd like to be a part of that, I can schedule that for 2 weeks from now.
that would be great. Yes.
Yes.
um,
Okay, so we'll
yeah,
do that in
'cause
2 weeks.
I'm a big TNG fan, so that's
I figured.
kind of my
Yeah,
bread and
yeah.
butter.
I like
That's why I
that
wanted
show
to invite
too.
you specifically.
Yeah.
You and Sarah have to be there, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah,
please, yeah.
TNG is yeah, that's my thing.
Please.
So.
And I know
I've probably
surprisingly
seen
little,
the entire
so-
series, you know, 10 times and, you know, have it on DVD.
Yeah,
the
yeah, me
entire
too,
box
like-
set, so- anyway.
Out of
And then I have
college,
all
when
the
I was
movies,
living
so,
with my friend
yeah.
John, we used to just like randomly pick a couple of numbers, and it would be like the season and episode of
Mhm.
Next Generation. We just watch whatever it was, even if it's terrible.
Oh,
I've
That's a
seen
good
every
fun
episode of
game.
Next Generation like a million.
I even
times.
like the terrible episodes. They have their place.
I like
Except
the
in-
ones where like
Except in season 1, some of those episodes are
yeah, like
Yeah, well,
I watched the one with Data where he thought he had real
You-
feelings.
Data.
Data.
Yeah, that's him.
It's pronounced
You're
Data.
like Pulaski. Data.
Well, what can I say?
Data, data.
I'm from
what's
Chicago.
You
I
say
got-
data, and I say
Say
data.
data.
You say
Of course you do, Danny. I know you do.
I just
Oh wow,
assumed.
you beat me then, man, because I don't have any. I don't have any
Why
of the comic
wouldn't
books.
you? You know?
I
do
do
have-
have a couple of the books though,
Oh,
like
sorry.
Imzadi.
No way.
But do
Yeah.
you have the Hot Wheels Enterprise
Cool.
D?
Surprisingly, I don't have any Star Trek swag back here.
Uh-huh.
That is bizarre. I can't believe I don't have any Star
It's a
Trek.
little
swag.
dusty. It's been up there.
I'm gonna get my son on that and get his 3D printer working. Build me some Star Trek swag.
I have a Vulcan bear. A
I
Sarlacc.
bought a Borg teddy bear for my mom when we were at the Star Trek experience out in Vegas. It's the cutest thing. It's a Borg teddy bear. I mean, it's just teddy bear that's been Borgified. It's fantastic.
Oh,
I have a toy Dalek somewhere in this
it's
room.
complete too, because it actually.
Oh, the saucer separates. Excellent.
That's neat.
It does
The only
now.
problem is I can't take it off the mount anymore because these mounts they get stuck after a while and they break. So
Oh no.
yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, they really thought that they were going to do the saucer separation a lot, but it
Yeah.
turned out to be really, really hard to pull off for some reason. So they only did it maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the entire show. So
what's funny is they use the same
And they use the
saucer
same
separation.
footage.
Yeah, footage
Over
every
again.
time from the very
So what was so
first
hard about
episode.
that? You know, it's like, you know, it's like Gatchaman, Fiery Phoenix. You know?
Hey, Starfleet was just trying to be economically safe here.
Cheap.
Yeah.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
Bean counters.
I shared
Or
a meme with
beaming up
Sarah. I don't know if
counters.
I shared it with any of you, but there's a meme where it's a job interview and somebody's asking, "Do you have any data entry experience?" And then it cuts to Yar looking really embarrassed.
Oh,
Oh, I
God.
love that. I've seen that.
Oh my God, that's great.
Anyway, that's it for today. Like I said, I don't know what next week will be, but I promise we'll have a show, even if it's just talking about nothing for an hour and a half. And then the week after that, we'll do Next Generation movies. So see you then.
Rock on.
And on my channel, I do have a review of 20 Million Miles to Earth, the Ray Harryhausen movie, popping out in like
Cool.
half an hour.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to finish out my Superman movies with Superman 4 and Supergirl
Nice.
in the following weeks. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. And tonight, Thrash and Sarah and Danny and maybe Chance, I don't know,
I was invited.
and Tracy.
Too.
Tracy's also invited. That's right. I forgot.
It's okay.
We will all be having another show where we talk about feel good movies.
At
Mhm.
7, correct?
7 o'clock. Yeah, 7
7 o'clock,
Eastern.
wait, 7
Right.
Central or 7 Eastern?
7 Eastern, 6
Eastern.
Central.
Thank you.
7 thrash time.
Yes.
All right. Then you're my time, dude.
I used to say Eastern Standard, but then Zuplex used to correct me. Well, daylight savings or not? I'm like, it's my time. Damn you.
That's right. No, I'm on the same time with you and
Yes.
Damien.
Mhm.
So yeah, that'll be tonight. And I would apologize for being so scatterbrained, but we had a lot of fun anyway, so it's great.
Oh, you came with
Yeah.
on subject.
Yeah,
And also,
Don't
I
worry
can't
about
apologize.
it.
It's always fun.
It was cool as heck.
Yeah.
You were doing all the work. You know,
True.
it's like- you weren't just like daydreaming. You were actually like working.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button. Goodbye.
Thank you and good night.
And
That
we're